Welcome, everybody, to Pick and Roll. This is the live stream that goes live every weekday morning on the Board YouTube channel. We've done it all throughout the regular season. There are 2 shows remaining for the regular season as we're going to be off this weekend, but you guys will be happy to know that we will be going live throughout the play-in tournament and the playoffs. We have streams ready to go for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday next week, and a little bit of additional content will be coming on Thursday. Me and Pips will be breaking down the entire playoff landscape for each conference, and we are hoping to have some interesting guests for those ones as well. So stay tuned for that. You can stay tuned by subscribing to the Board YouTube channel, and you can also hit that like button if you find yourself enjoying this stream along the way. For all the content, to stay up to date with everything, you can also follow us at the Board HQ on Twitter. I'm running that account, and I'll make sure you guys are informed with everything that is going on. But for today's show, we have a bit of a special episode for you guys today. As usual, we'll be doing the betting talk in just a second with the official picks. We're going to also, at the start, recap yesterday's plays of a nice 2-0 day. And we're going to finish off today with a discussion piece, but a special one. We are going to be making our all NBA selection. So I encourage you in the chat to let us know who you have on your all NBA teams before we get to ours. So first of all, as always, we're going to recap the previous day's record, and it was a good day on the show. 2-0 on the picks. This is the highest the units have ever been in the positive so far this season, with one more show to go. Great timing, I'd say. We're 16.5 units in profit, 6.3% ROI, and with 2 days left of betting, it's possible that we finish at the highest we've ever been. That's great to see. Kyrie Irving gets over the line after a great second half. The Kings never really in doubt to cover that plus 12.5. And, Cam Johnson covered easily on our net same game parlay. But Mikal Bridges, you spoke about how many times he ends in between 25 and 27. Fortunately, ends on 26 here and goes over the 24.5. But Pips, your thoughts on the 2 bets in the slate overall?
The Kings never end up. Dallas never led by double digits. Actually, Kings led by double digit at halftime. The shots didn't fall for them in the second half, as they shoot like way below average. He's hit on threes while having great looks. On the other side, if anyone has a chance to watch Kyrie Irving fourth quarter shot making, I advise you to go and watch. It's unbelievably difficult shot, unbelievable. That's just Kyrie, and yeah, it's he. I actually I admit that I forgot he's a Muslim and that it's a Ramadan now, and he didn't eat anything for like I don't know how many hours, and then he ate at the halftime, and then he came out the second half and just scored 25 points in the second half only. So yeah, that's kind of Kyrie thing, but fortunately, great, easy cover for both in the fourth. So that one was easy. The other one, I would say it was easy, but not as easy as this one. When we look at the 26 points by the Mikal, yeah, he left the game with 2 minutes left after missing so many shots. I actually think this is. I'll just check. Yeah, this is career high 26 field goal attempts for Mikal Bridges last night.
Wow.
And 26 field goal attempts and 26 points for Mikal. Very inefficient game in an easy matchup. He shot 2 for 11 from the 3 while all 11 were wide open. So even with very inefficient game last night, he still covered this line. So I'm safe to say that was a great bet.
Very, very, very much so. So great to see on that with the 2-0 day. With today's game, a little bit of a smaller slate here. So we have one official pick for you guys as we look to finish the season, to finish the regular season at the very least, extremely strong here. And we are going back to the Orlando Magic for the first time in a bit of time here, but we're going to be going to Franz Wagner and we're going to Wendell Carter. We had some fun times with Wendell Carter this season, so hopefully more of the same here. The same game parlay is Franz Wagner, 15 plus points, and it's paired with Wendell Carter, 12 plus points. They're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, and we're getting minus 115 odds at DraftKings. So Simple, easy, one pick today. But Pips, what do you like about this one, and why are you taking these two players?
So first off, I'm taking the Franz Wagner. We can take a look at his scoring numbers. Like over the last 10 games, that's Wendell Carter.
Here it is.
So
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So Franz Wagner, like 10 straight games with 16 or more points, 19 points average over that period, 19.3 average. That's every game with 25 or more minutes, and we can expect him to play 30 plus minutes tonight. 19 points average over the last 10, 19.3 over the stretch of the season, 16 plus points in 10 straight games, 17 points is Cleveland last game, and it was a way more difficult matchup than it's today. As I don't know if everyone knows, but Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Isaac Okoro are out for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we could actually see Robin Lopez starting for Cleveland at 5. That will be very interesting. So I don't
Yeah.
know, they
Yeah.
decide to go with Mamadi or with Robin Lopez, but Lopez is still getting 20 minutes at least at the 5, maybe even more. So that's why I like both France as a great driver to the rim and great size scoring, and then the same thing is the Wendell Carter. Whoever plays at the 5 for the Cavs won't be able to defend. Won't be able to defend Wendell Carter. He's quick. He's strong. I don't see anyone with Allen and with Allen out and with Mobley out, and don't see anyone to being able to guard him. And on the season, he's over in 41 out of 47 games in 25 or more minutes. Very consistent scoring, 13 to 16 points every single night. And yeah, just in this positive matchup, I expect him to cover this easily. Since the All Star break, only 2 games that he didn't cover. He covered in like 18 out of the last 20 games. So I think it's great matchup for Wendell Carter. And if you take a look at the last couple of games, he scored 17 points with the front court of Mobley and Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Then he had like 14 points with the Pistons in blowout. Yeah, just scored even in difficult matchups against the Knicks. He scored 16 points against the Anthony Davis, 16 points against the DeAndre Ayton, 16 points. Like very against Miami Heat, 27 points against Bam Adebayo. So in every matchup, he's like doesn't care who is in front of him. He'll get his 14 to 16 points every night, and we are taking 12 in one of the best matchups the entire season.
So great stuff here. I think the last time we bet Wendell Carter was that like crazy game where he scored in. There was like a second. It was a buzzer beater, I think it was, where it was like
It
the
was
craziest one
dunk
we've
on
had
the
this
last
season.
possession of the game.
Yeah. So hopefully, I mean, hopefully he wins. Hopefully, maybe a little bit less excitement than that, and just a clean cover for our
I
guy
wouldn't
Wendell
mind
Carter.
any excitement as long as they win. So,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
We'll take the sweats and the no sweats. I've seen a comment now, but anybody who's catching this later, minus 110 available for this one on BetMGM. So apologies, anybody who got that minus 115. But if you're
So
still here, minus
I,
110 is
I can
available.
actually touch on that information. So DraftKings and BetMGM usually have the same, like on 90. I'll say on like 90% of the same game parlays, they have the same price, but on the 10% of the time, BetMGM has better price. So it's never that. It's never that. I don't think I ever seen that BetMGM has the worst price than DraftKings, like ever. But usually they have the same. But usually you can find 5 cent better as this example on BetMGM, and it's actually my fault. I checked it like half an hour earlier. I didn't check before the show to again check BetMGM because they can put the price down throughout the date. So yeah, always better to bet on BetMGM, as these same game parlays usually will have, or even either identical price or better price than DraftKings.
Yeah, so apologies for that. It's also difficult because like when Pips gets the plays ready, we try to really get everything in together to get the show up
Yeah,
so we don't see it move.
I logged this play like 2 hours ago. I just was spent 2 hours working on all NBA teams, so didn't recheck the BetMGM, and that's on me. So sorry, guys.
All right. So anybody watching later, that one is available. But as Pip said, he spent a lot of time working on the all NBA selections, and I have as well. So let's give you guys our all NBA picks for this season. So Pips is going to go first. I have a graphic here. I can't get it completely full screen, but I can do pretty close to that. So Pips has given me his selections. I'll reveal first of all his first team, then I'll go through my selections second of all. So Pips' first team, for people listening in audio, he went with Doncic, Curry, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. And I'm kind of seeing these right now here. I'm going to fill them in as we go. But for his second team, he has gone with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the guard spot. He's got him with Damian Lillard. In the forward positions, he has Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. And in the center spot, he has.
As you write this down, I'll just say that my initial, like, the I don't know how to say it, but my elimination thing was 55 games. If you won't be able to get 55 games, I just didn't take you into account for all NBA, and that's the thing with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and one more player that didn't get enough games. Kawhi Leonard, yeah.
Kawhi.
So Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker are not in here only because I personally think that no one with less than 55 games should be on LNBA team.
I was a little bit lenient, but I don't think I chose anybody under 55 games for similar reasons. I
did choose LeBron James. He has 53 games so far, but I expect him to get to the 55
right.
with two games left.
And for Pips' third team, he has gone with Donovan Mitchell. He has gone at the guard, pairing him with De'Aaron Fox. We're going to the Sacramento Kings here. The Kings fans will be happy to see. He has him with Julius Randle on the third team. Jaren Jackson Jr. as well in the forward spot. Jaren Jackson eligible for center and forward. And he also has Anthony Davis rounding off his teams here. So those are Pips' all NBA selections here. Just repeat them for audio users. First team, Doncic, Curry, Giannis, Tatum, Embiid. Second team, he has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lillard, Butler, James, and Jokic. Third team, he has Mitchell, Fox, Randall, Jaren Jackson, and AD. So let's reveal my teams here. There is some similarities here, but we'll definitely touch on the things that we have different. So
I expect you to have Pascal Siakam on the
I actually don't have Pascal Siakam in my team. I don't think he should be all NBA this season. So let's come off here. I'll reveal the first two teams here. So first team I actually convinced myself to take Curry off my first team and put Shai Gilgeous-Alexander here. And by the way, for people thinking we just threw this together, me and Pips, we both spent about 2 hours thinking this over. So we this is tough, but I went Shai on my first team with Doncic, Giannis, Tatum, and Embiid. So almost exactly the same as Pips, except I switched Shai and Curry. My second team does have Curry, also has Lillard, and I went with Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle, and Nikola Jokic. So again, very similar to what Pips has. And then my third team, where there's going to be some differences that we'll likely have to talk about. But my third team, I went with the same guards in Mitchell and Fox. I could not keep Lauri Markkanen off this team. I put LeBron James on my third team, and I actually went with Sabonis here. At some point, I had to. At some point, I had AD initially. At some point, I had to favor games played, for Jaren Jackson, my issue is that he played way more games than like guys like LeBron, but he actually has less minutes than them because of his consistent foul
Yeah.
issues, which I think played in a little bit. So
I don't. Yeah, we can talk about it. I'll just my spent quite some time deciding between Sabonis and Davis. So that's why my third team. Yeah, I spent some time deciding between these two. I went with AD being like three times better defensive player. In our NBA teams, I take defense into account almost like 60-40, like not 50-50, but I would say like 60-40 when making those decisions. And AD is so much better on defense that yeah, I just can't like their numbers. If you take closer look, are almost the same, and this is so much better on defense. So that's my thing, that why I chose to go with AD. And going with Sabonis is like just personal choice. Neither is wrong, I'll say.
yeah,
Thing with Steph Curry, why I have him under my first team
I mean,
is
I understand, but I think most people
yeah,
will.
yeah. I mean, I'm okay with Shea being there because he deserves, but I think my personally that Curry would get to 56 games with 2 games left, and with 56 games, I said that as a rule. He's over it,
Yeah.
and he is the best guard on this list. So I just can't. Like he's more sure for the first team if he gets the games than than
Oh,
Luka Doncic. Like
100%. If Curry plays like 65 games, he's on my first team. I just
yeah,
I valued Shea for his impact for his team. I mean, you could say the same for Curry and the amount of games he
yeah,
did it.
sure. I was Shea, so that's why he's on All NBA second team.
Right, right. You're
Yeah,
splitting. We're
yeah,
splitting hairs
yeah,
here. I
yeah.
want to go over the omissions from this. So like players I had written down, but I really wanted to add them in, but I couldn't. I'm upset I couldn't get Anthony Davis in this team. I'm upset I could not get Bam Adebayo in this team because I think he's been pretty close to All NBA level this season. And I'm upset Jaylen Brown. I couldn't fit him in anywhere. I had Jaylen Brown in here for a while, but I was like,
My biggest issue, my biggest like my thing was spending some time between deciding De'Aaron Fox, John Morant, Jalen Brown, Trey Young, like so many competitors for
"Dude,
the. I could go with just James Harden at this third team All NBA guard, and no one can say anything against it. Like
I
there
think
is
you
no
can't say
argument.
anything about any of these guys. Like
Yeah,
another one, you didn't even mention. You listed a bunch of pointers. You didn't even mention Jalen
Like,
Brunson.
and
I
also like I was between Davis and Sabonis, and like I choose Davis. So I can't have all NBA teams without Kings. And also, like huge factor for me is that De'Aaron Fox is by far the best clutch player this season in the entire
that's what
NBA, and
got him
that
on
was
my
the thing for
list.
me. Yeah, that was the thing
But
for me. He is not more efficient than a couple of guys. He's not having better numbers. Like if you compare numbers to John Morant, he doesn't look better, but he's more efficient and he's the leading clutch scorer. So I'll just going with Darren Fox. Yeah, I think
eh,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
De'Aaron Fox. I mean, he's shooting 51% this season. That's
Yeah,
crazy. And the 3-point percentage is like low 30s. But like, what put him over the top for me was how good he's been in the biggest moments this season. So
yeah,
that's why I have him here. I guess in terms of marketing, that's just probably defensive related because I know you
yeah.
wanted to
It's
have
the same thing.
Jaren Jackson.
I was actually two difficult spots for me was where 13 wins. Like for second team, I'm okay with with Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. They are, I think, safe for the second team. You can like you went with Julius Randle on second team. Okay, like that's a slight difference, and I was like, if you are above 55 games, I wouldn't take into account if you played 55 or 65 games.
Right.
Yeah, that was my thing, like how I approached
So
it.
so how I approach it is, would I rather have the slightly worse player for 10 more games or the
Yeah,
slightly better player for 10 less games? So in the case of like LeBron James, I'd rather have Jimmy Butler for 67 games than LeBron James for 55 games, type of thing. I just rather have a little bit extra availability. So that's how I factored in. Everybody's going to vote differently. Everybody's going to think about this differently, but that's just the kind of the way I mean, if LeBron plays like the whole season, he's easily second team, and there's a bunch of guys who fit that category. But I mean, overall, we're pretty similar on our selections here. The Joel Embiid one, I guess it made us choose between who we think should be the MVP. I think we've just both kind of said we would probably pick Joel Embiid as the MVP here, but would love to hear any thoughts in the comments about our teams, and would love to hear if anybody has any their own sort of selections here. So, somebody here mentions Jokic over Tatum. Badger mentions that. Unfortunately, you cannot put Jokic at forward. So this is strict to the guidelines that the NBA has had for positions. Jaylen Brown, interestingly, could have been guard or forward, but we both didn't have space for him. But Jokic, I would put Jokic over Tatum. Unfortunately, I cannot. Colin Blockbreaks wants Siakam over Jaren Jackson. Even as a Raptors fan, I could not get Siakam in for a
but
bit of inconsistencies in clutch. I mean,
it's okay. Like if everyone has Siakam over Jaren Jackson, it's okay. Like
yeah, no, I agree. I don't think there's any real wrong way to make your All
yeah,
NBA team. You know,
yeah. I think when you look the just offensive numbers, it's Siakam, of course. But I can't leave defensive player of the year that's having good offensive season. I was a great offensive season. I just can't leave him off the All NBA third team. That's the thing with me. And Siakam, actually, his efficiency dropped a ton over the last couple of weeks. So he's now below, I think, 2 or 3% below the league average efficiency. So, like, if you are just looking at slight things, that can decide.
that played a little bit into mine as well. But there's a good amount of Sabonis love in the chat as well. And Orchard talks about SGA. It's hard to argue against Stephen Luka. I agree. I was looking over the numbers. I'm just thinking about what I've seen from this season, and it was really, really tough for me to ignore that. But like I've been saying, like Steph and Doncic makes complete sense. I don't think like Dame on first team makes sense. You could easily see that. I think the
Yeah,
only real
if you
lock.
don't account, if you don't account the record in it, Dame could be easily maybe
Yeah,
even first team, but second team he's a lock. So
I
yeah,
think the
amazing
only
numbers.
legitimate locks are Giannis, Tatum, and then Embiid and Jokic being 1 and 2. Other than that, like I could see you going to different. I cannot envision anybody not having Giannis, Tatum, and either Embiid or Jokic on their first team.
I would say Doncic, Curry, Shea, and Lillard should be the locks for first and second team NBA. Not in any order of this, but these four should be in the first two teams. They are just that they are better than everyone else. These
Yes.
four are like one step out above everyone else. Like Donovan Mitchell is having a great season, but when you compare the numbers to these four, just not. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Showtime in chat asks if we can do all NBA award ballots. I think, or sorry, NBA awards, individual awards. That might be a good thing to do for tomorrow, if you're up for that. But that'd be an
yeah,
interesting one to do tomorrow as the final regular season show. So definitely we can get that. It's a good suggestion there from Showtime. And Sean Glenn says it's crazy how good this listed when guys like Booker, Durant aren't even in the mix due to injury, and guys like Kawhi as well, who like
yeah.
Kawhi
Kawhi
season
one
has been
is pretty.
sensational.
Kawhi one is pretty sick because he's close to 50. He just for now he played I think 50 games, so he'll probably get to 52 or 53, and he'll be like so close. But if he had 55 games, I'm taking him over maybe even LeBron James for the second All NBA team. And then putting LeBron on the third, and Jaren Jackson is out. And I'm okay with it, but yeah, not enough games for me.
Another one is Zion. Zion was one who could have made first team if he was at all healthy this season. That's another good one there. But there you have it. Those are our all NBA teams. I'm going to post this to Twitter later if you guys want to reply with your all NBA selections, anything you agree, disagree with here. But this is the second last regular season show of the season. The last one will be tomorrow. So we hope to see you there. And I think tomorrow will be a good time to do our award predictions. If one thing is for sure, MVP wise, the show MVP is definitely Buddy Hield for this season. So the pick and roll MVP, I think, is Buddy Hield. I don't think he has lost a single bet from this season that he has, that like his SGPs have lost, but it's never been because of him. So do you agree Buddy Hield is the top guy for this season?
Yeah, Buddy Hield is our guy. I actually always get, like, not just this season. Like, if I take a look since I started betting in like 2000, when Buddy showed up in like 2016, yeah, he's always been my guy because he's just thriving in good matchups and not thriving in bad matchups, and he's just that guy. So it's when if you are betting on the matchups kind of thing, yeah, Shay,
Buddy.
Buddy is our buddy.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So let's wrap up the show here. I'll give you guys the pick once again. Thank you to the kind comments that we've been receiving today. But the official play for today, smaller slate, so one play here. Cavaliers at the Magic. It's Franz Wagner, 15 plus points, and Wendell Carter, 12 plus points. We got it minus 115 at DraftKings. Check if it's still minus 110 at BetMGM. So apologies, not getting the best price in this one for the people who watch live. But for anybody watching, either minus 115 at DraftKings or minus 110 at BetMGM. But those are the numbers that we would play it at. If you guys enjoyed this show, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Reminder, we're going to be doing shows for the play-in tournament games next week. We also have a Thursday playoff preview coming out, hopefully with some special guests. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Check out the BetStamp app and use our link in the description to sign up to multiple sports books. As the lines get sharper for the playoffs, you need to make sure you have as many sports books as possible so you can actively line shop and get the best price available. And you can use our link in the description to sign up to those sports books and get a little bit of extra support to our show. But once again, thank you, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. What's this?
9-0 on Buddy Hield bets.
9-0 on Buddy Hield bets this season. So he absolutely is the MVP of this show. Maybe I don't know if the Pacers are playing tomorrow. If they are, I don't even want to include him just so we can he's playing the Pistons. Man, there might be a good spot in Buddy Hield if he's playing. We'll see if he's actually even playing. But once again, thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow for the final regular season show of the season. We hope to see you there. We hope to catch this pick. Thanks again. Check out Call to the Pen HQ, which you'll be redirected to once this show finishes.